You got to think about your life. Being a black man in America isn't easy. The hunt is on. And you're the prey. All I'm saying is, survive. All right?
Researchers at Yale showed teachers this video clip of 4 preschool students. Their instructions: look for misbehavior and click when you see it. The study was kind of deceptive. None of the kids in the video actually misbehaved. The researchers were using eye tracking software. What they actually wanted to study was who the teachers were watching. Both black and white teachers spent significantly more time watching the black boy in the video. This study showed that even preschool teachers can treat kids differently based on their race without even realizing it. Look elsewhere in the US school system and you'll see this show up in other ways, like at this middle school in Bryan, Texas. They gave students tickets for offenses like disrupting class or using profanity. Black students were 4 times more likely than white students to receive those tickets. Nationwide, black boys miss way more school due to suspensions than any other group. And this can start a kind of chain reaction. Missing weeks of school due to suspensions makes students much more likely to drop out. Without a diploma, you're much less likely to earn a living wage and much more likely to be incarcerated. All this missing school is helping to drive the highest poverty and incarceration rates in the developed world. So it's worth asking, how'd we get here?
The book of Ecclesiasticus, or Barak, chapter 11 and verse 33. Take heed of a mischievous man, for he worketh wickedness, lest he bring upon thee a perpetual blot. Shalom, Akim, YAHAWAH. Before I get started, I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to YAHAWAH, Bahasham, YAHAWASHI, Bahasham, QADASH. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders of the great millstone, who rule well, who taught me this truth. Enough respect and salutations to the fellow Akim, the house of David, the hopefully elect. This is your brother YAHAWASHI from the Birmingham branch, coming to you again with another lesson. And we're being hunted by a cunning hunter, even into this day. And we're being hunted in the valley of the shadow of death, which is Babylon the Great. Okay? Now the scripture telling us to take heed of this man, all right? Because what he worketh wickedness, all right? At least he bring upon thee a perpetual blot. That blot is a stain, okay? It's a stigma that's associated with so-called black men, all right, mainly of the tribe of Judah, you so-called Negroes, all right? When a nation of people spend billions of dollars, decades, pretty much making you a proverb, a byword, all right? Showing to the American people, or the world for that matter, that you're a brute, you're a black brute, or you're a smuggler, you're a Negro beast, all right? Destroy this man, brute. You know, you got to realize Esau Edom spent billions of dollars making us look like the villain. Well, if you, and that video you just seen, that survey that Yale did, all right, exercise they did, if you get people to watch the usual suspect, all right, which in this case would be us, the usual suspects, right? We at the butt of everybody's joke, all right? We the last ones hired, the first ones fired. Well, if you pay attention to that and have people, even our own people, paying attention to that, so-called black women, then the fugitive escapes. Hey, the main corporate, all right, escapes. You see that? And this is why we need to take heed of this mischievous man, because he worketh iniquity, man. He set gins, he set snares, he sets traps, Okay? Let's give them some precepts. Lord willing, this will be edifying and comforting. All right? Start in the book of Job, chapter 10, verse 21. Before I go whence, I shall not return, even to the land of darkness and the shadow of death. This is America. All right? Verse 22, a land of darkness as darkness itself. All right? And of the shadow of death. And this is what shadow does. Casts darkness upon the land without any order, and where the light is as darkness. Even you may seem to be well off or bright or educated. All right? It stems from a dark root, man. A wicked root. You see that? Let's go ahead and get the precept in Psalms 23, verse 4. Yeah, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, and valley, all right, is a low land. And we're in the lowest, all right, land, the most famous and wickedest kingdom ever erected on planet Earth, according to the scriptures. This is the valley of the shadow of death. It says, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. And this is that light. This is the truth. This is the scriptures. All right. This is YAHAWASHI that casts what? Light. He's giving light. All right. To his men in his low, dark land. Let's back that up with a precept. The book of Luke, chapter 1. All right. This is verse 79. To give light to them that sit in darkness and in the shadow of death. And this is what the Lord has came to do, man. Okay, let's continue. To guide our feet into the way of peace. And this is peace. And when we speak peace, this man is about war. All right. This man is about iniquity. He's about bloodshed. And this is the only way he's satisfied if he has done wickedness, man. You know? Isaiah 9 and 2. The people that walk in darkness have seen a great light. They that dwell in the land of the shadow of death, upon them hath the light shine. And who are the only ones speaking against this cunning hunter? Again, we're being hunted by a cunning hunter, man. And we don't have to stress, all right, to you people, man, how much we're oppressed, how much the eyeball is set on Jake in here in America, man. All right? Yeah, we're screwed, okay? But that has to do with our own transgressions under the curses. You see that? Nevertheless, this man is going to continue to have his neck on our throat. And even with that survey with 4 students, who's been looked at the most by each and every race, including our own people, because this man painted the light. He spent billions on plating the so-called black man as the bad guy. Oh, he's the bad guy. He's the bad guy. You see that? So by default, people are gonna lay eyes on us, even when we're not the suspect. All right, we're just the usual suspect, and this is why, Jake run into the hardcore SHIT that we run into, man. At hell and high water. Psalms 107, starting at verse 9. For he satisfieth the longing soul. This is YAHAWASHI, man. And filleth the hungry soul with goodness. All right, that bread we're eating. All right. Verse 10. Such as sit in darkness. And in the shadow of death. Why the scriptures keep going over this place that's labeled the shadow of death? Okay, let's continue. Being bound in affliction and iron. All right. We had yokes of iron on our necks. Okay, during the slavery days. All right. Even up until now, you have them on we have those fetters on our feet and on our wrists when we're getting booked in the prison, or when we're being unbooked in the prison houses. You see that? That's affliction, man. All right? We're bound in that. How and why? Because this man set gins and snails and traps, man. He lurked in the secret places. Let's continue. This is the reason why. It says, because they rebelled against the words of the Most High and contemned the counsel, all right, of the Most High. Therefore, he brought down their heart with labor. They fell down, and there was none to help. No one's here to help. You see that? The so-called black man. You have this push for women being saved and save black women, and now it's being, hey, these so-called alphabet lives matter now. Okay? But no one's speaking about the high incarceration of Jake. No one's speaking about the high death rate, all right, amongst our men, man. You know? The effeminizing of our men. All right, being brought up in single-parent households, man. Okay? No one's speaking on that. We're the only ones speaking and condemning this place, man. For the laws, the legislations, all right, woe unto them that right grievousness, which they have prescribed, all right, pursuant to their laws, of course, all right, their legislations, their policies, and they're against who? You so-called Negroes, of course, Latinos and Native Americans, but the eyeball is on us, all right? We're the hunt. That's like it. We're the prey, all right? Because the hunt is on. The hunt has been on, man. Psalms 142. Let's see. Yeah. Psalms 142 starting at 3. When my spirit was overwhelmed within me, then thou knewest my path. In the way wherein I walk, have they privately laid a snare for me. See, even when we're trying to do a certain thing, just walk, man. All right? And that walk could be going to work. That walk could be going to school. That walk could be going home. All right? What have they done? They laid a snare for us, man. All right? Matter of fact, let's get this word snare real quick. All right? Some say gin, pits, you know, Strong's H6341. Paw, a bird trap, a snap, calamities, right? We go through calamities. All right? Plots. You see that? And it also says in the Strong's, the translation says, snare, gin, plate. Let's see. A net, man. A gin. Okay? Let's look up plots real quick. See what they give us. A conspiracy. They're the true conspirators, man. You know? A scheme. You know? These people are so, they set forth shrewd schemes, man. All right, to get us caught up. All right, and this is the valley of the shadow of death, man, because wherever we turn, guess what? There's a pitfall waiting on us, man. So let's go back. This is verse 4. I looked on my right hand and beheld, but there was no man that would know me. Refuge failed me. No man cared for my soul. Even when you're in a group, when you're young lads, you're in a group full of heathens, you know, they're going to point out the male figure, man, that's so-called black. All right? From birth, man. Hey, this is why Job complained, man. You know? Hey, let's stay in Psalms. All right? Chapter 35, verse 7. For without cause have they hid from me their net in a pit. Damn. It's not only you get caught up in the net, but also the net is in that pit, man. It says, which without cause they have digged for my soul. Which without cause they have digged for my soul. Now, knowing, 50, 40, 50, 60 years later, that we still will be labeled as the violent, all right, the brute beast, okay, the destroyer, you know. I mean, you can just pause and look at it, man. Just type in black man rapes white women, and this is what you get, all right? None for that matter are true stories. In these cases, man, these women, these so-called white women that have, was caught up, they actually was consenting with Jake. You know, they love Jake. All right, they still love Jake to you see it this day, man. You know, they love Jake, man. So when they get caught up with Jake, they'll get a point in the finger, man. Or in case Esau don't want to be embarrassed, you know, he makes a public mockery, you know, or public display of that Jake that he found with his woman or with his daughter or what have you. Let's stay in Psalms, okay? Goddamn devils. Psalms 59 verse 2, deliver me from the workers of iniquity and save me from bloody men. For lo, they lie in wait for my soul. The mighty are gathered against me, not for my transgressions, nor for my sin, O Lord. These niggas just doing it for sport. This is a cunning hunter. They hunt for sport. All right? A hunting season. We're on the brink of hunting season. Okay? October. All right? It's around the corner, man. These days flying by like nothing else, man. But this is who they are. Let's read 4. Verse 4. It says, verse 4. They run and prepare themselves without my fault. Awake to help me, and behold. You see that? And this is what we're crying to the Lord. Hey, Lord, come on, Lord. All right? Knock this devil on his ass and trample him. Okay? Because we're ready to go, man. Again, if you watch The Usual Suspects, if you watch these so-called Negroes, them the guys, them the perpetrators. This is a perpetrator. They're not the victim. Well, the fugitive gets away. He gets to escape, all right, and gets to live out his wildest dreams on an island somewhere, ducked out, while we sit and rot in prison, rotting these bodies, okay? Because they have painted that picture as us being the bad guy. They spent billions on that, maybe even trillions, on painting us as the bad guy, man. All right? And you seen it. You just seen it, man. Matter of fact, let's stay in Psalms. We seen it by that little survey they did, whatever they call that thing, man. All right? That should vex you. You know, if you have young children, I know for sure young Israelite boys, you see, Bunyam, if I'm not mistaken. This is Psalm 71 and 10. For mine enemies speak against me, and they that lay wait for my soul take counsel together. It's like they had to even do a research. They like, man, what's really going on? Why is adults paying so much attention to the black boy, the so-called black boy that is, when no one's behaving, you know, oddly or bad? Why is it? Why is that? It's psychological, man. All right? Yeah, we under the curse, man, but that lets you know that we are the prey in the valley of the shadow of death, man. Verse 11, saying, the Most High have forsaken him, persecute and take him, for there is none to deliver him. And this is what they think. All right? But they're going to be in pitiful case, man. All right? They're miserable. And we're going to end it off in Barak chapter 4 on down. Let's start at 30. It says, take a good heart, O Jerusalem, for he that gave thee that name will comfort thee. And this is how we be in comfort, through the scriptures, on lining up tangible evidence, real life events, things they actually do and put on wax. And we filter it through the scriptures, all right, to show our people, hey, we are those people that they hate. You see? Continuing on. Miserable are they that afflicted thee and rejoice at thy fall. Miserable are the cities which thy children serve. All right? Miserable is she that received thy sons, that whore, with that cup. All right? They received us as slaves. All right? And they didn't receive us as open arms, man. They received us and they gave us labor. They gave us affliction. They gave us, they made us serve with rigor, man, as it was in Egypt. Verse 33, for as she rejoiced at thy ruin and was glad of thy fall, so shall she be grieved for her own desolation. And this is what's coming. For thy violence against thy brother Jacob, for the oppression of our people, and continually the main, character, all right, Jacob, all right, which was later turned into Israel, all right, you're going to get your ass handed to. Lord will, this was edifying and comforting. On to the next one. Shalom.